Hi, welcome back to Siege 101. I'm going to be showing you how to set up Villa for ranked. Alright, to begin with, I'm going to be in the Aviator room. And slowly but surely I begin making these head holes here, which are crucial. And then now for the rotate, it's going to be in this corner. This is optional, you can reinforce this middle wall between side. And then have head holes on this side. These walls that connected to study will be reinforced fully. The bookshelf wall, this left side will be reinforced. And then at the bottom here, we've got feet holes. Same with this, just inverted. Vault has to be reinforced, never forget. And that is the first site setup for Villa. I have picked the character Azami, who is actually really good for this site. There are some great keeper barriers that you can place, one being there just to stop that line of sight. There is a very long line of sight from spawn that players can use. Also, another one on the maps table. This one's kind of fun if you get the angle correctly. You can see the walk up from Master and Red. Alright, so let me explain why the setup is how it is. So, into study, we have to reinforce this side of the wall and have head holes. Head holes just lets players that are trying to attack the study second guess whether or not they want to walk into study freely. If they do, they have a lot of control. Say you did reinforce this fully. Then, as an attacker, I don't need to worry about anything happening in here. I just need to worry about my doors, which is a much easier job than watching 3 potential lines of sight. So, have that open, have this reinforced. Attackers may traditionally try and open this wall or these 2 walls, so having a mute jammer or a bandit or a Kaid could be a good idea to bring. Not totally essential, but a good idea. Same with keeping this one shut off, as if you don't, and if the attackers are privy to it, usually an attacker will be repelled onto this window, for example an Ace or a Hibana. They'll chuck their pellets there and open that up. So making, as a defender, rotating pretty difficult, which is also why you have the rotate put there, just in case that does end up happening. Just watch out for these long angles. Now, having this as head holes allows you to hold that study window just over there, but also just more angles watching that study walk up. Obviously, with all of this setup, it does leave you vulnerable, so they can use these holes against you as well. So just make sure you're aware of whenever you are exposed to the to the attackers. Now for the bookshelf feet holes. This is not everyone's favorite, but I personally like it, and I would always make them. This just stops anyone from walking up to the door. As obviously I'm unable to see who's watching me, but as an attacker you'll be able to see way more than, sorry, as a defender you'll be able to see way more than an attacker will be able to. It's great. So yeah, that's pretty much the first site setup in Villa. Alright, following from that, we are gonna go to the statue and trophy bomb site. Firstly, these 2 walls facing into master bedroom have to be reinforced. There are some other strategies where you can use a castle and you would actually open up this and castle up some of the windows, but that's a different site setup that is not as traditional as the one I'm about to show you. So into closet, reinforce this wall. Sometimes you can reinforce the one to my right. I typically like to. Just protects you in the bathroom if you are holding bathroom at all. So they can't open up a long sight from the closet window. Now into Astro, we've got to pop the hatch open. That's just a good habit. You can hear a lot with the hatch open if anyone is creeping from below. But also you can catch people coming up those stairs into Astro. Right there. If you have a shield operator, a great position for a shield would be there, just to protect you from this rotate. Watching into bathroom as well as Astro stairs. And just over here, open these up. You can see anybody trying to walk up to red stairs over there. And that is pretty much the site setup. You can do feed holes here. I would not recommend it. Or it's not totally necessary, but the reason I wouldn't recommend it is if I'm an attacker on red stairs, I can see if anyone is going through those trophy door. So I'd highly... I wouldn't choose to put them there. As for the site setup and explaining why these are the way they're meant to be, having these reinforced allows for protection against these external windows. Also, the head holes, 2 head holes facing into the closet is just good intel if anyone does end up jumping in closet, which is a very common entry for this bomb site. Usually you put maybe a mute jammer or a frost mat, legion mines, anything that kind of indicates that someone has jumped into closet. And usually there'll be a player here just holding the closet window, closet jump in, as well as the master window. You just have to be careful of anyone trying to come up those Astro stairs. So typically there is either an Astro player that is playing the rotate as well as the bathroom. Bathroom, just watch out for the bathroom jump in as well as the closet jump in. And obviously the Astro stairs walk up. And then you can see if anyone is walking up there. In Trophy, nothing really needs to be set up except for this. You can reinforce these 2 walls if you would like. Not totally necessary. Typically, if you are playing on this bump site, you will push over onto this side, so you might reinforce both of those, have a rotate like you typically do over there. And just watch out for anyone coming up from study balcony or the main lobby stairs down this hall to 90. So always a good idea to have someone playing 90, have some intel on red stairs, because typically people will push here as well as the master Astro side. So yeah, that's how you set up for that statue trophy bomb site. Next up, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the kitchen and dining in Villa. This is my favorite bomb site between library if you were to go to the 3rd bomb site. Usually you would reinforce that wall into pantry. As a castle, it's a good idea to bring a castle for this site. Castle off the pantry door. Here we'll reinforce this middle wall. Head holes on either side. And then coming in down to here, we will reinforce this right side. And do some feed holes into that. You can cut off this door. I typically do if I'm the castle player. Now we will put a rotate on the right side. These are reinforceable walls. They don't look like them, but they are, so don't forget to reinforce those off. And then lastly, I like to shut this one off. You can put a beeper in there if you want to hear that someone is actually in there. A good spot for a beeper would actually be in laundry. Usually I'd put it about there. And I'm gonna leave my last castle setup. I'm gonna reinforce this one. Typically, I don't use my last castle setups. If I do, I might cut off mudroom or... yeah, I don't know. Kinda just leave it in my pocket, but if I do end up reinforcing anything, it'll be mudroom door. Alright, so here we go. We are in the China room. This is reinforced, and the middle wall is reinforced, leaving head holes on both sides. In kitchen, the pantry wall is reinforced as well as shut off as a castle. So with these head holes into China, I usually put a beeper on that lamp there. That just gives me intel that someone is walking up to the China door. and that is just good lines of sight for a defender. Also, having this reinforced means I'm safe behind, so no one can see me holding this. I'm safe so far, unless they open that up, then it gets a bit trickier. The rotate allows me to rotate freely between sites, especially if they are making vert on top. So usually you'll have players playing above, holding that master site, because that's pretty common site for attackers to come in from for this bomb site. In the memo room, we've got the 2 double reinforced walls. That's from the outside. You don't want those fully open because that just leaves a lot of phantom pressure for the defenders. And for the laundry, it's not typically a common way for attackers to push. They will, if they have vertical control in master, they'll open this up and open the hatch and jump on down. But with these feed holes, you'll be able to see more than they can see you. So yeah, in terms of this, you can decide to reinforce these 2 walls here, or you can leave those reinforcements for upstairs for other defenders to use. But that's that bomb site. Alright, now for the last bomb site in Villa. A bomb site that I never play in ranked, but I will show you how to typically set up for the library bomb site. Those 2 external walls will be reinforced. Going into the gallery, these 2 external walls will also be reinforced. Following from that, we'll have a rotate coming out of the gallery. Again, for external walls, the triple wall on this side will be reinforced. And the next wall to reinforce is the bathroom. We'll reinforce the right side and then the feed holes on the left, and I'll explain why. Now we've got 2 reinforcements left. We can reinforce these walls, but usually other people will be using reinforcements, so you may not be able to do this site setup exactly. Just as long as you get the main ones, which is the triple, the gallery, as well as the library. So that's the reinforcements. I'll explain to you why we reinforce the way we do. So in terms of the external walls, having these exposed just leaves a lot of lines of sight for the attackers, leaving you much more vulnerable as a defender. So that goes into the gallery, that goes into library. Also means an easy plant. If they are open, they'll just open it up. I mean, they can do if it is reinforced, but it just means they need a hard breacher. So having these shut off, it just slows that down a little bit. Also gives you a lot of sound cues when they start doing so. Now for the bathroom feet holes, as a attacker, if this is reinforced, I won't be able to make holes by shooting through the wall. I won't be able to wall bang anyone. But as an attacker, I can see there are clearly feed holes marked over there. You can maybe shut off that bathroom door as a defender, which is actually probably good, just slows down their push into bathroom. But as an attacker, I'm going to be second guessing whether or not I want to jump into the bathroom because I can't see anybody through those feed holes. So if I was an attacker, I'll be able to see quite clearly that someone has jumped into bathroom. And if you decided to reinforce the bathroom door, the attacker that does decide to jump in is pretty much stuck for a while. Just have to worry about the stairs coming down into library, as well as the lobby door. And typically mudroom jump-ins are pretty common, so watch out for that too. But that is pretty much the site setup for library.